So you hadn't been here before?
No, Rob coming in on an off-road in Discovery.
Okay, so what we're going to do, because we're heading off-road, we can set the car at relevant. We're going to go straight across. But what we can do with the car, we have auto terrain response. I'm sure you know about the car and how a lot of this stuff works. What we're going to do is pop it into neutral briefly so we can do our range change.
Yep.
Pop it into low range, and the reason for low range is it gives us more control. We can pop it back into drive, and it's that easy these days. Point and shoot technology.
None of these levers and...
Then we can put our 4x4 information screen on.
Hi, Mike, Roger over.
And we have hill descent control that will look after the braking on the steep descent for you.
Oh yeah, I'm on my good heading up.
So coming off the gas, coming off the brake, letting the car descend all for you and starting to trust the car. So straight ahead, looking ahead, trying to take in as much of the track as you can with your eyes, visually checking what you see. The relevance to off-road driving is slow as possible, fast as necessary.
Yeah.
We're going to go round to the left. That threw you, didn't it?
Yeah.
See yourself setting up there.
Yeah.
So thinking about the apex of the corners, we're about to almost catch the apex, so trying to use those mirrors. You can see the mirrors have been set low from the last drive. It's not because he was, you know, not tall, it's because we got them set up so you can keep an eye on your track edges.
Okay.
So if you want to help the car along sometimes, we can leave it in drive and we can just let that gear change point happen. Or we can start to influence it with a paddle shift or the command shift on the steering wheel. So if we think about gear ratios, third gear in low range is equivalent to first gear in high range. But again, we can keep it simple and just leave it in drive.
Yeah, I've always found that keeping
go
it
left.
flappy paddles are always a great thing for the first 2 weeks of ownership, and then after that,
strangely,
nobody seems to play with them.
When I go out on road, I never use them. When I'm off road, use them all the time.
Oh right.
So we would suggest paddles were there for sport drive. They're actually there as well for low end or low range use.
I'm going left here, right?
Go right. Just to show how good the turn the circle is. Making you work hard today, aren't I?
You are.
Look at that. On a dime. So if we want to increase our target speed of hill descent control, we can always use the plus button on the cruise control. And then when we accelerate and come off the gas, it doesn't keep slowing us back down to that target speed. So coming off the gas again, we want to go left. Just get used to using hill descent control. So as we come round to the left onto a slippery steep hill, if we want to go slightly quicker, we can just hit the cruise control and make it go slightly quicker.
So which one's cruise control? So which one is?
So the plus button on the cruise control there.
That
you
one.
See the green arrow on the green box moving upwards. So if you push it more, try and just nice and straight ahead because it is a straight track. That's it. See it going up, and then we can use the minus button because we're picking up speed and we don't want to be reliant on braking on 4 wheels. Hill descent control will brake where needed. So ultimately, that might sound slightly complicated, right to right, in some degrees. It's not really hard to push a button plus or minus, is it? But this is where we can start to use the flappy paddles, as you call them.
Yeah.
Okay. So on a descent of a hill, in first gear, we get a target speed of 2.2 miles an hour, and second round about 4, and third round about 8. So we could use the gears of our descent if we wanted. So lots of different ways to drive it.
That's a lot different to the originals.
Yeah. So bring the control or the minus speed right down. So we're about to descend a very steep, slippery hill. So you just hold it all the way down, that's it. Feet off all the pedals. Yeah, feet off all the pedals. You're just in control of the steering wheel. I'm going to let the car dictate what's happening on this hill. So round to the left a little bit, that's it. Straighten up the steering now, nice and straight ahead. Try and hold the steering dead straight. So one of the way moments, hill descent control really looking after us there.
That's the incredible electronic-y bit from...
Yeah. And then we're going to turn to the right and up the hill.
I was glad you didn't say turn left.
That would be a challenge, wouldn't it? So even if we come to a stop on this hill, so if we come to a stop when we're between these 2 big trees on the right at the steepest point, so keep going, and then foot firmly on the brake. When we come off the brake, we get gradient release, and it gives us 3 seconds before the brake's released. So when you come off the brake, come off it and don't gas, and then we start to go back. So back on the brake, and then we come off the brake, it gives us 3 seconds to get onto the gas to pull away. So none of that rolling backwards and forwards. That was because you didn't push the brake hard enough. So push the brake a lot firmer. You want to stop.
Yeah.
Now come off the brake, set the gas, and away we go. No wheel spins, no drama.
None of this put it in low first and turn the key back on. And...
It is in low first, isn't it?
Well, no, but is it impossible to stall?
You can stall an auto. You roll back whilst wheel spinning forwards.
Oh, right.
You can put, negative loads on the drive line, and you can stall an auto.
So then recovery from that is just switch it on.
Switch it back on again. General requirement is to put it back into park.
We told them, I think the 90s or
You've got to be pushing these cars hard to stall them.
Yeah, I mean, in the old days with the manual, feet off everything, just turn it on and it would pick up, and then just crawl itself forward. Amazing how compliant the suspension's even on this stuff.
So standard road tyres, standard road pressures as well.
Yeah. You just feel it just picking up a bit, can't you?
What we're going to do, normally we would take this bend right wide because it'd be the least aggressive line, but take it with a bit of momentum round really tight. Take the pothole on,
Take that pothole on?
Yeah. Keep it moving there, keep it moving, round to the right. No drama. Traction control dealing with it all. Dynamic stability control making sure you don't over rev it. Pretty stunning stuff.
Smarter than the average bear. That makes this easy, doesn't it, almost?
It is, isn't it? Point and shoot technology, isn't it, really? Keeping the masses safe.
I think one of the fun I had in my old Discovery manual with all this.
to go around to the left. Round to the left again, through the gateway. Around to the right. I'm going to take this track here to the right, so into a few man-made sections to really wow you up the hill here. So we're going to be nice and slow about everything we're about to do. We need to use a lot of brake, a lot of control. So nice and slowly, keep climbing over to the left a bit. That's it, hard left, and then dead straight with the steering, straight ahead, and then really slowly onto the brakes. Inch it over slowly, really slowly, and brake and stop. So walk it down slowly, trying to steer straight ahead. Round to the right. Keep going right, keep going right, keep going right, keep going right, keep going right.
Which is the counterintuitive bit, isn't it?
Now hard left. Keep bringing it round. Hard left, full lock. Really slowly, really slow. Full lock left, full lock left. Keep going, full lock left, full lock left. Keep going. And we can feel it sliding, can't we?
Yeah.
That's because we're asking it to do something we shouldn't really attempt to do. And we're going to go straight ahead, really slowly on the brakes now. We're trying to steer uphill on a side slope.
Yeah.
It's counterintuitive because we shouldn't be doing it. We're going to go through here, round to the right. But it just really, you know, it goes against the grain of what we do for teaching to steer uphill like that. It's we shouldn't be doing it, but it really demonstrates the ability of this car, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
We're going to go through this deep water. We have wade sensing on this one, so it's going to tell us what depth of water we're in.
Right, straight ahead.
Straight ahead, nice and steady. If you look ahead in the mirror, so give it a little bit of gas and then stop. So look at the size of the bow wave we just created. Useful or not useful?
No, we should be keeping that on the bumper.
Shouldn't even be moving. Shouldn't even be creating a bow wave, should we? 900mm wading depth. If we were at 900mm and we created a bow wave like that and it hit something and came back at us, we'd be breaching our wading depth.
Yes.
Running a potential to hydro your engine.
There's a friend of mine who's just done.
Okay, and round to the left.
Now, tell me, we were always told that you had to set axle breathers wading. Is that still the case? No? Old technology.
So, left-hand wheels in line with the top of the slope, right-hand wheels down into the ditch. And then just really slowly on the brakes. Walk it down and in. Really slow. That's it. Nice and steady.
That's the scary stuff.
And then we're going to go round to the left.
You don't get that in Waitrose car park.
We'll take this next left into these huge big walking holes, but what we can do, we can go across now to use our cameras that look down from the mirrors to help us with our alignment on the way up. So this is, you know, articulation up here big enough to be able to take the wheels off and do a wheel change if I wanted. So as we come up here, this front left's going to come off the ground first. So we start to climb, so it's starting to
just gently up.
That's it, really slowly. Keep the steering straight. That's it, that wheel's off the ground, it comes down. We keep walking up, nice and steady.
Then that one.
Lovely view there of the castle, over to your left.
Oh yes.
And whence you came, over to the left a bit. That's it. And on we go. Hill descent control's off at the moment, so I've turned it off. Then we're going to go round to the left. steady. Getting hill descent control back on. Staying off the brakes over the cattle grid. Staying off the brakes.
Yeah, no, not on the brake.
Nice and slowly.
That's quite a retardation, that, isn't it? Straight on, left.
Right to the left. Following this track, carrying on in that direction. Brakes again. Just letting hill descent control. Letting the brakes sort it out for you. Hill descent control. Right to the left. Get the lock on. No need to accelerate the car, go downhill all on its own. It's called gravity. I know it's that situation. Man must control machine.
Absolutely.
Bumpity bangity bumpity bang. So again, we don't need to accelerate, do we?
No, just need to
increase our target speed, or we can change gear by using the ill-fated flappy paddles. Bless them. So they start to have second use, don't they?
Yes, that's.
So try it instead of accelerating, because it feels a bit on-off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm turning into Churchill's nodding dog. Then we come back down into first for this descent. So double tap on the left-hand one. Keep your feet off the brakes and the accelerator.
Down to 1 mile an hour.
That's it. Just let it come over. It's 2.2 miles an hour in first. As it comes over, big side articulation round to the right.
Just something inherent about using, because your brain always wants to use the pedal.
So again, you don't need gas. Let it walk down through here. It's a really bumpy, rocky piece of track, so just want to let the car come down slowly.
Car wants to go home.
Out through the gateway. So I hope that's been a nice, brief but quick introduction into the car.
Oh, amazing. Always is.
What I'd always suggest, obviously as journalists, you can come back up here and get into this estate and come and spend a day with us. So on the move, we don't want to be in low range anymore, do we? Especially in first gear.
No.
So we can go into neutral, we do our range change, and hill descent control works in neutral. Come back into drive, we turn off hill descent control, we're back in road use, high range gears.
Just like that.
Yeah, we see, sorry, thank you.
No levers to push, just a nice little button.
Get something to